Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. What the hell?
Man, again, are you serious?
Are you joking, dude?
What?
Unbelievable.
I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
It's like a Hail Mary.
To send the Rams to the championship game.
Oh,
Just
All right.
just barely got it.
There you go.
Well, good season, boys. Don't be sad because it's over. Be happy it happened. Bears lose 20-17 in overtime to the Los Angeles Rams in the divisional round of the 2025-26 NFL playoffs. Oh, man, that one stings. But this has been a phenomenal season for the Chicago Bears, so I'm holding my head up high. Nothing can bring me down from this moment. There's nothing that anyone can say that tells me, like, I should be embarrassed that they lost this game. Yeah, they lost this game. But this is an inexperienced team in the playoffs. It's a very young team. And it shows that they've got a lot of room to grow. They were beaten by a more experienced quarterback, a more experienced coach, a more experienced team. Bottom line, this team, the Rams were in the playoffs last year. They won a playoff game last year. The Rams have a Super Bowl with this quarterback, and they've been to the Super Bowl twice with this head coach. The Rams are a very experienced and well-coached team. They are a very well-rounded team. The Bears have been better this season on one side of the football than the other, but weirdly enough, I was not expecting this way to go the way that it did. Look, I felt like the Rams were the worst draw the Bears could have gotten in the second round of the playoffs. They could have gotten the Eagles, a team they've already beaten in their building this season, or they could have gotten the Panthers, and that's a team that lost more games than they won in the regular season. But they ended up getting the team that probably should have been in that position, the LA Rams, because San Francisco went out and beat Philadelphia. The Rams are a more complete team. They finished with a better record than the Bears. Honestly, I'm not surprised at the final result. Mainly because, again, the Rams are a more complete team. I was not expecting that the Rams' defense playing incredibly well was going to be the reason why the Rams won this game. I thought that if the Rams were going to win this thing, it'd be because Stafford is in sync with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, but that wasn't really the case. Look, I gotta give props where props are due. The Rams defense played out of their mind in this one. Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, Nate Landman played super well. Cam Curl got a pick. Kobe Durant got two. That secondary was doing a good job. And frankly, both defenses were not letting receivers get pretty wide open for the most part in this game, which I haven't seen that a lot. I mean, seriously, in these last handful of Bears games, feels like there are guys that are wide open when the Bears are on defense. Like, every pass I'm expecting to be completed because the guys can be wide open because they're just not prepared. But at the same time, the Bears offense has also had their moments where it just feels like every throw, I'm going to find a Bear wide open, and he's going to make a catch. Elements were a factor, and it shows that this team still has some room to grow because some of those drops were just freaking brutal, man. This offseason is going to be really exciting, but one thing I'm just not looking forward to is the Roma Doomsday conversation. The guy had such a hot start to 2025. He tapered off a little bit. It started in week 9 against the Bengals where he didn't have a catch, had a couple of drops. Like, that's when it started, and he's just not been the same since. A guy like Colston Loveland comes in, takes over, becomes an elite tight end overnight. Meanwhile, Roma Dunze, he's got to deal with a foot injury. He's out for the last month of the season, and when he was playing from weeks 9 to 13, he was a non-factor, unfortunately. And he gets back in the playoffs, makes an outstanding catch to compliment the even better throw against Green Bay on 4th and 8, but he was held without a catch until the fourth quarter last week. And he had just 2 catches in this game. Had a nice catch across the middle, and then had a nice toe tap catch in the fourth quarter. But he had a touchdown that he dropped. Had another pass that he probably dropped that I'm forgetting right now. But, Rome Odunze struggled in these playoffs, and there's going to be a conversation about this kid going forward, and it's not going to be fun. And we've also gotten to a point where we've intermittently been mentioning a guy named DJ Moore throughout the season. Those conversations are going to amplify yet again. We're at a point now where so many Bears fans have completely forgotten the fact that DJ Moore caught the game-winning touchdown against the Green Bay Packers twice this season because he's had some problems, specifically effort problems. Hasn't had a ton of drops. Had a really spectacular one-handed catch. His touchdown catch in this game was great. Off a little bit of a deflection, so it's a little bit of a wobbler. Still gets to him, and he still holds on. That was a great catch. But when you are in overtime of the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and you are not going full speed, and it's pretty clear on the replay that you can tell you're jogging a little bit, and you're not giving it your all, and the ball's thrown way ahead of you, which ended up being the last offensive snap for the season for the Chicago Bears, there are going to be a lot of people in this city who are going to be having this conversation yet again because there have been several times where people have been questioning your effort. I've seen the discourse. A lot of people are trying to figure out who is to blame. DJ Moore is to blame, or is it Caleb Williams? I don't think it's either of them single-handedly. I think it's both of them. It's not one player or the other. DJ Moore should have put more effort into this route. Caleb Williams said he was thinking he was going to run more flat to try and cut off the safety or whatever. Caleb Williams throws this ball way out in front. It's probably still going to be intercepted, or at least at the very best incomplete if DJ Moore is putting his best effort in there. So I think that both players are at fault. Caleb Williams deserves to have that one intercepted. And, it's a bit of a humbling experience for a quarterback who has been very, very good throughout his career so far without turning over the football, protecting the football. 5 picks in 2 playoff games is not a good start in his first career 3-interception game. I don't love that, but I feel pretty confident that that's not going to happen again for a while. All right, it's time for the Caleb Williams conversation. He had a great regular season, man. Set a single-season record for passing yards. He literally set the NFL record for fewest interceptions and first 1,000 career passing attempts by a good margin. He's got a lot of good things going for him right now. His playoffs, very hot and cold. That is something that's going to be very interesting to think about when we get to this season next year if the Bears are involved in the playoffs. Because I'm not going to guarantee it, but with the foundation this team's built, you'd expect them to be back next year. But Caleb Williams, again, 4 touchdowns, and 3 of them were in super clutch situations, pressure downs. He has had some really high highs. The best throws in Bears history. But he's also had some lows. This is the most turnover-prone he has been in his career. Look, 5 interceptions is just absolutely terrible. That cannot happen going forward. It's a really bad time for Caleb Williams to have his first career game where he throws 3 interceptions. It's a very, very bad time to pick that game. And they were all in pretty important situations. There was one in the second half, but one was on the first drive on 4th down, and then there was another in overtime that ended up being the very last play for this Bears offense this year. Really sad that it ends that way. But, I believe in this coaching staff and in this quarterback to get that cleaned up if they're back in January next year. Plus, Caleb Williams has shown that he is going to be the guy going forward. And, with all the hits that he's taken and with all the clutch throws that he's made all year long, I am not worried. And I'm not throwing up the panic alarm for him because he threw 3 interceptions in this game. Because while he did that, he's also the reason why they were playing in overtime. Because, oh my God. Oh my God. The throw to tie the game is the best throw in Bears history. That's crazy to say. Name a better throw. Better yet, name a quarterback, another quarterback in Bears history that can make that throw. Oh, wait. Oh, right, you can't, because there isn't anyone who can make that throw. And there isn't a better throw, circumstantially, in Bears history. And even regardless of circumstance, that still might be the best throw ever by a Bears quarterback. I mean, to start from the Rams' 15-yard line and be chased back to the Rams' 40, 25 yards away from the line of scrimmage, to just chuck up a 50-yard pass to the end zone, and for it to find Cole Kmet, who breaks off of the guy who has 2 picks on Caleb Williams in this game. Oh my God. To even get that thing into overtime is unbelievable. I mean, I just cannot believe it. 4th down. Again. Both touchdown passes in this game. On 4th down. Some of the best throws Caleb Williams has made all season long on 4th down. I just don't know what it is, but I've never seen a quarterback struggle on 1st and 2nd down throws, yet completely excel at some of these ridiculously difficult, prayer-like 4th down throws. It's unbelievable. It's unheard of. And when I think back to this game, I'm not going to think about 3 interceptions for Caleb Williams. I'm not going to think about all those drops. I'm going to think about 4th and 4, game on the line, Caleb Williams retreating back 25 yards and launching a prayer to veteran tight end Cole Kmet for his first career playoff touchdown. And, yeah, he deserves it more than anyone. Cole Kmet has been with the team for a long time. His second career playoff catch, he had one against the Saints in 2020. But, you know, that's a moment where I know that Caleb Williams is the guy going forward. And he's going to continue to get better. Because, again, if he continues to wow you like this in year 2, when everything else improves, the footwork, the structure, cuts away on the turnovers in the playoffs, this team is going to be dangerous for a long time. And that's what has me hopeful, because we're at the beginning of a window. You know, this loss isn't when Caleb Williams is the top seed in the NFC. They're playing a 6th seed in the divisional round, and he needed that to get it to overtime and then lost. Like, this isn't like a pivotal year for his legacy and his career yet. This is still the rise and the ascent. We haven't gotten to the peak yet. At least I sure hope we haven't gotten to the peak yet. Oh my gosh, if that was the peak, oh dude, oh my God. I am just so happy for Cole, a Chicagoland kid, hasn't caught a playoff touchdown, just his 3rd career playoff game. He's got 1 career playoff catch. He's coming in for Colston Loveland, who left a couple plays earlier. Biggest moment of his career right there. I'm so happy for him. He's got his moment. Even if he does nothing else, he doesn't catch another pass for the Bears, he's got his moment. He's got his moment for his childhood team. I'm so happy for him. And look, I'll be honest, Ben Johnson did not coach exceptionally well in the playoffs this season. He didn't really necessarily coach all that well against Green Bay. He came alive in the 4th quarter and just everything was going his way. But the first 3 quarters against Green Bay, not his day. And throughout this one, it felt like he was getting out-coached. The amount of times this team decided to try and run it and establish the run on 3rd and short and fail, it was unreal. 3rd or 4th and 1, it didn't really matter. You got it to that type of yardage and they were handing it up the middle. Like, it just was not working. the trust in the offensive line to beat out the Rams defensive line. The Rams defensive line was winning that thing every single time. And Ben Johnson could not figure out how to convert on fourth down, honestly. And it's hilarious because the Bears scored their 2 touchdowns on fourth downs, but the 3 that they failed, it's just like head scratching. Seriously. Not a great day from Ben Johnson on the headset. But again, he's also a first-year head coach. He will get better at this as time goes on. You would hope. But there are, it's not just the players. The players obviously need to execute. But the coaching does need to be better going forward if this team wants to advance farther and farther into the postseason. Anyways, before hitting some offseason talks before we get out of here. Before we talk about the offseason a little bit, I want to shout out the defense because they played a very good game. And it starts with Jaquan Brisker. That guy played out of his mind. It's his best career game. Hands down. Not even a question. Led the team in tackles. Had more solo tackles than any other Bear had total tackles. Add on the fact that he had a tackle for loss, a couple of pass breakups, and a sack. Jaquan Brisker did his part. Absolutely. And Kyler Gordon played his best game of the year. It was so nice to see, Kyler Gordon feels fully healthy now. Of course, right when the season ends, but it has me hopeful that he didn't miss a step. He was just hurt this year. And it's really unfortunate because he played 3 games in the regular season, was targeted so much last week against Green Bay, and he ends his year on a high note with a couple of great plays, gets a sack, nearly had a spectacular interception, just didn't time the jump correctly, but that was real close to at least getting a hand on it. But I liked what I saw from Kyler Gordon in this game. I'm excited to see what he can do when he's fully healthy at the start of a season again. And of course, we're going to have the Montez Sweat conversation of, dude's overrated, we're paying him too much, he should be doing more, blah, blah, blah. It's he's still a really good pass rusher. And I think if they go out and grab a guy to complement Montez Sweat, I think he's going to get better because he played very well down the stretch. And his 2 performances in the playoffs were nothing to scoff at. So I love what I saw from Montez Sweat. You hope that this can be more of a consistent output throughout the whole duration of the season. But he caught fire at the right time. And then shout out to Marco Jackson just for the entire season's body of work. Not playing very much all season until week 12 where both Edwards and Edmonds are out, as well as Noah Sewell. So he's got to step in and not just be a starting linebacker, but the guy wearing the green dot, calling the plays for the defense. He has pleasantly surprised me as a guy that I think I want to keep around as our 3rd linebacker, and he can develop into a true starting caliber linebacker as well, depending on the moves that Dennis Allen wants to make regarding the current linebacking core. But DeMarco Jackson, he finally got his shot, and he delivered this season. He made some really nice plays, and I am really excited to hopefully have him back next year. And then Deshaun Wright, I didn't see too much in this game. And that's usually a pretty good thing for a corner, not to have their name called or not to show up on camera a ton, because he was playing against Davante Adams, and for the most part, he did his job, man. The one catch that he surrendered in overtime was a really, really good throw from Matt Stafford, able to just beat Deshaun Wright's extended frame, and a really good catch by Davante Adams as well. But at the end of the day, this team is going home. And there are going to be some changes in the offseason, but trust me when I say this, I am never going to forget the 2025 Chicago Bears. This has been such a fun season to watch. It's been a fun team to follow. It's been so exciting to see family members get truly invested in the Chicago Bears again. And it makes me so happy to be a Bears fan because I love what the future holds for this franchise. And I'll never forget this team. Never. Look, as we look forward and into the offseason, the defense is going to be the main focus here. It's frustrating because the core feels like it's been set, but they couldn't stay healthy this season. So I'm interested to see what moves they make on the defensive side of the ball. Do they decide to trade a piece away? Who are they going to bring in on the defensive line? Who will they draft on the defensive line? Because they will be drafting on the defensive line. I can guarantee you that. The edge position is very deep this year. I've said it a couple times here on the channel. But I'm looking forward to see what this team can do in free agency, in the draft, and then, of course, once we get to training camp in July. And I'm hoping this team can bolster up that defense and that this defense can be healthy when the season starts. I would love week 1 next season to not have three of the top 5 players on defense out. That would be awesome. And then offensively, this core is set. They'll make some moves, but it's not going to change too much. The starters are there. And the core here, they are there. Caleb Williams will be the starter, going forward, obviously. DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai in the backfield. And then we'll see what happens with DJ Moore. Olamide Zaccheaus has been a 1-year rental, and I feel like he's probably going to be shipped off somewhere else again because this team's got a ton of young talent. Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Jade Walker are all young guys who were behind Olamide Zaccheaus on the depth chart going into the season, and I would say that all 3 of them are probably going to be above Olamide Zaccheaus if he stays around going into the season next year. So it's probably best for Zaccheaus to go to another team. Then you have Rome. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of pressure on Rome next year with how his season ended here. And of course, if DJ sticks around, there will be a lot of pressure on DJ Moore to perform as well. So there's definitely going to be some pressure on this offense next year to play even better than they did this year, because this offense was one of the best that we've seen in recent history for the Chicago Bears, maybe the best for the recent history of the Chicago Bears. Top 10 in total yards per game, pass yards per game, rush yards per game, and points per game. One of 5 teams to be in top 10 in all of those categories this season. The Rams being one of them as well. So the Bears have had a great offensive season. I expect them to play even better because now you got 3 guys who are focal points of this offense coming out of their rookie season, now having a full season under their belt in the NFL. It's probably not going to hit me until I wake up tomorrow morning that this season is over for the Chicago Bears and that the 2025 Bears, the team that has given me so much joy, is done playing football until September. So it's been a wild ride, and I'm so glad that you guys are all here to watch it with me. It's been a blast. The most fun Bears season I've ever watched in my life, and it's going to be hard to top this one. But, all good things have to come to an end. Anyways, when it comes to this channel, we've got more content coming up. Hawks videos will continue to go on a weekly basis when they're playing. There will be that break for the Olympics. But we'll do a season retrospective for the Bears like we did last year. Draft video will come out whenever that is. Maybe we're doing some free agency content. We'll see. I'd like to get a couple more videos that are probably a little shorter form. The Bears signed this guy. What does that mean? Instead of trying to compile everything into one big video. So we'll see what happens in the offseason, but, there will be a couple offseason videos. And, I'm so excited where this team is headed. This team feels like it's headed on a very, very good path. But, nothing is guaranteed in this league. It is harder to get back there. And you just hope that this Bears team is not a one-year wonder. And I don't believe that they are. And so thus ends the 2025 Bears season. It's been a wild ride, truly. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's been so fun to watch. So many memorable moments, from blocking a field goal to win an ugly game to 2 weeks later off the bye week, winning by the exact same score against a team that broke your heart last year and pretty much ended your season, sent your team into a tailspin, beating them, and then, funnily enough, sending them into a tailspin. Kind of ironic. Finding a way to still win after blowing a 14-point lead against Cincinnati, beating the Eagles on the road in their building after they had won the Super Bowl, and playing like the better team clearly while doing so, beating the Packers in overtime in that fashion with those stakes, and then doing it again in the playoff. This season has had a little bit of everything, but it has had some of the most thrilling Bears victories I can remember, and I'll never forget it. And so that is it for this video and for this season of Bear Fan Reacts. Please give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button if you really liked it and want to see more content from me. Keep the conversation going in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this game, this season. What are your thoughts about going into next season? Are you optimistic, pessimistic? Do you just think that this team is going to the Super Bowl next year, or are they not going to make the playoffs? Let me know what you think, and it's been a pleasure. I'll see you all in the next one. Bear down forever.